Hey everybody in college and university, Happy New Year! It's January 1st, 2021, and we are this much closer to New Year kickoff, where we're all going to be experiencing some amazing new tools, new products, our collagen launch, which is why we're all here, and more. This quick live is to just give you a little bit of information as to the questions that we're getting, and they're all great questions, by the way. Great questions that we're receiving, and a lot of them have to do with posts, content, scripts, photos, images, all of those things. So my goal with this very short video is to kind of give you a little more relief, confidence, and encouragement to know that you're in the right place and you're not behind. You are going to be 100% equipped to be able to promote collagen to everybody in your network and your list and your current team, if you will. So here's what I want you to kind of focus on. And if you noticed, the title of this is marketing, why the cake is more important than the frosting. And you're probably like, Kathy, what are you talking about? So when I say this to you guys, I say it with some validation. And I think I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm just saying this to make sure that you know that this is coming from a validated space. My undergraduate degree is in marketing, and I'm certified in digital marketing from Columbia University. So and I'm also teaching digital marketing here and there on the college level. And so I'm very up to date with what's working, what's not, and how it can benefit us as a field. So what I feel some of you have been saying to me in the past couple weeks is, I need this post. What do I say on this post? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I just kind of want to give a little bit of an analogy of how we post on social media. Think of social media as the icing on a cake. You love it, it tastes good, it looks fabulous, and it makes the cake look even better. But it's not the actual substance of the cake. So while we want to encourage you to post and present and put all of these things on your canvas, if you will, the biggest thing right now is connections. Connections is your cake. So let the cake be your conversations, your texts, your lists, your emails, your conversations, your three-way calls, all of the above. That is the cake of this business. So while we are completely in a digital age, I want to implore you to understand how it really works. If you only have 100 followers, that's pretty darn good. If you have 100 followers watching you, posting to those 100 followers will only go so far. So the best way to handle this is to have the icing on the cake validate the messages that you're sending. And how does that look? So what that means is, I'm going to message 10 people that I know in my sphere. I'm going to contact a lot of the people that perhaps are inactive right now, that maybe took a chance with me at the beginning 9 years ago, and they've fallen off. So instead of sitting there and wondering what the best post would be with my 100 followers, I'm going to connect with them first. And I'm going to utilize social media as the icing on the connections. So when I reach out to someone, and someone kind of looks into my social platforms, that's kind of a validation of the connection that I made with them. And I hope that makes sense. Just give me a thumbs up if you understand where I'm going with this. So basically, you can turn your social platforms into the validation from the initial connection. But without that initial connection, you're not going to have the leverage with your social platforms that you may think. The other part of this is many people in the online space and in network marketing try to listen to people in the digital space who have hundreds and thousands of followers. Here's why that's not a good idea, guys. When you have a lot of followers, you're posting differently. You post differently than someone who has a couple hundred. So if you're following someone and doing what they say, is it based on the fact that you have 100,000 followers or 100? Because it's different. And anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you a program. Sorry, that's the truth. So when you have below 500 followers, here's what you want to do perhaps. You want to just back up the conversations that you are having with people. So you want to have the pretty pictures, you want to have the content, but you don't want to rely on that. Let those pictures and images and content that you're doing on social media just back up what you're saying with the people that you're contacting. You know, many people think that social platforms and that type of marketing is kind of lazy. It kind of is. Because when the digital age started, people stopped connecting with people, people stopped making phone calls, they stopped sending emails, and they just post and pray. And that post and pray looks a little like this. I copied and pasted Susie's thing, I put a nice picture, and I posted. And then I'm like waiting. So I post, and then I pray someone answers me. And if you're in that mode of just posting, and not connecting, it's going to be really challenging for you to grow with this launch and other launches. So what I want you to focus on is, yes, the toolbox that we're giving you, all of the tools that are coming, the social shareables, which Nina and her group have put together. They're amazing. There's more coming from the field. We have amazing volunteers. We call ourselves volunteers that are putting stuff together for the field. And that's going to be right at your disposal. And it's coming. This coming week, you're going to start seeing a lot more things coming your way. But don't let that take the place of the connections that we need to make. Don't let that take the place of sending an email to your inactives, letting them know what's coming January 8th. This may or may not be good for you. I know it wasn't a good time before, but let me tell you why I'm so excited about collagen and why I think it would be really good for you. This is your second chance with people who just didn't work out for them before. And remember this as well, especially if you've been around for a while and you've connected in a different way and you're getting used to social platforms, be vulnerable enough to say, hey, you know, when you were with me, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I am so much better versed in isogenics. I'm so much more secure, and I'm ready to build a team, and I want you to do this with me. Give me a second chance. Let's make this work. There's nothing wrong with saying that, especially when you feel that maybe you've grown so much as a leader than when you started. I know for me, my first year, I can't even believe like I was even successful because I wasn't saying the right things. I was doing things that weren't really duplicatable. I wasn't really following along, and I'm very sure that some people fell off the wayside for me because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin as an isogenics leader of a team in a company that I was new at. So don't be afraid to go back to those people that first said yes to you, whether it was a year ago or 9 years ago, and talk to them about how you've grown and how you'd love to work with them again because you feel so much more confident and you're better equipped and you've never been more thrilled at where isogenics is going. And so those are the most powerful pieces right now in a launch, far more powerful than a post of the week when you don't have a lot of followers yet. And how do we get more followers? That's the next question. Followers aren't customers. So I could care less that I don't care how many followers I have. I just want customers. That's how you should look at it too. So if you have 1,000 people following you and 500 of them are customers that are purchasing from you, that is way better than having 100,000 followers and having 500 people only buying from you. Do you see what I mean? So it's not the amount of followers, it's the customers. You want customers, you want a tribe, you want people buying anything that you have. And that's what this is all about. And that will slowly grow progressively. And the other question I have received too in college and university privately is, should I buy followers so that more people can see my platforms? The answer is emphatically no. And when you sometimes get coached by a social media guru. They're going to tell you to buy followers. You guys never buy followers. It's just not important. I've never bought one in my life, and I don't have 100,000 followers, but everyone who follows me is connected to me. That's so much more important. But the way you can build your following is to ask questions in the stories. So do a poll, do a question that people will answer. And even if 2 people answer your question, like, do you currently use collagen? You push the social media, buttons in the stories end, and you can create a question. And so if you say yes or maybe or something like that, people will respond. Then you can look back and see who responded. And that's your instant invitation to message someone in the DM and say, thank you so much for responding to my poll. Do you want me to send you some information on collagen? And that's how you start growing organically. We hear about that a lot, how to organically grow your feed. That's what we mean by that. Asking a question, engaging people to answer the questions that you have is so much more powerful than posting a cool video. Videos are cool, but that's the aesthetics. That doesn't grow a business. So that's why we call it the frost. In marketing, we call it the frosting. Because while it's beautiful and it might attract people, your one-on-one connection is more important. So the activity in your direct messages that can generate through questions in your stories that you can post, and then really going old school and connecting by email, by phone, by text. So while we wait for this launch, focus there, do the social media that's been given to you, but don't worry about it. So I want this to come across the right way. What have we learned today? We've learned that social platforms are important. You want to be consistent. You want to ask questions of your audience, no matter how big they are, and that will grow your audience organically. But we want to really focus on connecting with people that are already in our sphere and showing them what's coming, and let them feel your excitement through the email, the text, the phone call, because those are the people that are going to come back to you. Looking and driving the line in your back office of people who maybe fell off years ago, being vulnerable enough and say, hey, I know this didn't work out for you before, maybe it wasn't the right timing, but now is perfect. I'm running for this. I'd love to do this with you. I'm better at this. I'm more equipped, and I would love for you to do this with me. So think of how many conversations like that we can all have before the launch. So I don't want you to stress about the marketing. It's coming, and it's glorious, and it's magnificent. And utilize the social shareables that we have. Utilize all those things. But the priority is the connections. So I hope this helps today. Just keep going. I've seen a lot of the social stuff you guys have been doing, and it's amazing. So we're all in this together, and more stuff is coming. So stay tuned to this page, and we're all here to help one another. Mwah! Have a great day.